Hello, my name is Richard Garner. I'm a longtime environmental and political activist. Thanks for checking out this video. In this video, I'm going to talk about the world environmental crisis, its fundamental causes, and what we Americans need to do about it. In recent years, the idea that climate change caused by the intensive, widespread use of fossil fuels by human beings is our number one environmental problem has become prevalent throughout the world. Climate change is indeed an extremely serious problem. It could lead to the end of all human life. It is already profoundly altering the biosphere. However, it is not the only extremely serious life or death problem that we face. There are others that are more fundamental. Two of the most fundamental underlying causes of almost all of the environmental problems that we face are human population growth and economic growth. Population growth is a problem for all of humanity, including the American people. That population growth is a problem for people of all races, ethnicities, identities, and beliefs, is the logically inescapable conclusion that flows from the fact that the biosphere of life on Earth is finite. The biosphere is like a thin film that extends around the surface of the planet. It is made up of the totality of all living organisms and the inanimate matter and energy that they interact with. All human beings are absolutely dependent on this biosphere for their survival and well-being. There are many myths about population growth. One of them is that the problem is primarily producing enough food to adequately feed everyone. Producing enough food is indeed a problem. However, the problem of population growth is about much more than that. Another myth is that population growth cannot possibly be a problem because there is still so much physical space on the land surfaces of the earth that is not covered by people, buildings, and other human artifacts such as roads and highways. The idea of mere physical space does not provide an accurate picture of the impact of even one individual life upon the biosphere, especially here in the United States. Population growth is also dismissed as a problem on the basis of the idea that overconsumption of resources in the economically well-developed world is the real problem. This is faulty, circular reasoning. Even at a low level of economic development, population growth still leads to a steady increase in the consumption of resources. And here in the United States, with a fertility rate below what would otherwise be replacement level, our population has continued to grow over the last 50 years, primarily because of a large volume of immigration. And our population is projected to continue growing for decades into the future because of the age structure of our population and because of an expected continuing high level of immigration. And this growing population has led to a great increase in the consumption of resources, including fossil fuels, having huge impacts on the biosphere in the United States and in the world as a whole. Possibly the most destructive myth about population growth is that any concern about immigration into the countries in the economically well-developed world, especially into the United States, originates in racism. This is an absolute falsehood. It is true that many Americans have said racist things about immigrants. Many Americans are opposed to some of our immigration policies have said racist things about immigrants. And our immigration policies have been shaped in part by racism. However, concern about the level of immigration or how the level of immigration or the number of immigrants of any race, ethnicity, or religion impacts the economy or the environment is logically independent of the racist opinions or acts of some people. Population growth is a problem for all of humanity, including all Americans, because of the total impact of all of our material and energy demands on the finite biosphere. This includes the material and energy demands flowing from the large volume of immigration into the United States. This is not meant to express approval of or agreement with Donald Trump and his immigration policies or his approach to the complex problems facing American democracy or the contemporary world. His rise to power was one of the great catastrophes of human history. What I am saying here has nothing to do with him. The other major fundamental cause of our environmental problems is economic growth. Economic growth is the increase in the total quantity of goods and services produced in an economy in a given period of time, such as a year or 3 months, called a quarter in economic reporting. Economic growth amplifies the impact of population growth on the biosphere. What it means is more and more things being manufactured and sold and more materials being extracted from the earth to make them. And it means more and more services using more and more things. This all means a steadily growing impact of our American and now our global economic civilization on the finite biosphere. In addition to climate change, population growth, and economic growth, the world faces the problem of an ongoing sixth mass extinction of other species of life. Our two major political parties, the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, have been oblivious of these problems throughout their existence, but especially so over the course of the last 50 years. During this period, numerous scientists, other scholars, activists, and ordinary citizens have been trying to promote an awareness and an understanding of these problems without success. We need a new political party in the United States that will make an explicit commitment to protecting and preserving the entire biosphere of life on Earth. I go into much greater depth about these problems and what we should do about them on my blog at https://www.arepublicfortheearth.org. In addition to my writing on my blog, I will be making further videos on these subjects. please check back on this channel for them. Here, I will hold up my blog URL on this piece of paper so that you can see it. Thank you very much for your time and interest in watching this video, and please check out my blog. All the content on this video is copyrighted in 2024 by Richard Garner Jr., all rights reserved. In addition, to the extent that this video makes use of the same or similar language to express key ideas described on my blog, the URL referenced above, I am the copyright holder for all the original material on my blog, and I hereby give myself permission to use some of the same language in expressing key ideas on this video. Again, copyright 2024 by Richard Garner Jr., all rights reserved.